Having some technical issues today. So sorry. There we go. All right, so yeah, technical issues, but we're still live and still on. We're going to teach some being upside down safely for beginners here for yoga class today. So hopefully you can hear me okay. I don't even know. Hopefully this mic is working and not that one. It's okay. We're here. Namaste. Bring it in. Find that center. All right. So we're about to practice some upside down yoga. We're just going to continue what we've been doing with the inversions, but we're going to add on a little bit more. So each week we've done a little bit more. As you're feeling comfortable, of course, please practice safely. We'll review again what that safety means as we're practicing, basically making sure not all the blood's rushing to our head, knowing what to do when it does. And then also facing our fear a little bit, like trying to relax the neck, letting the crown of the head come to the mat, that sort of thing. All right, so let me find my way back to the mat real quick. And again, I'm not sure which mic is working, so I apologize. I'll make sure I try to project so you can hear me. Go ahead and have a seat. It'll take a few deep inhale breaths, slow and steady. Exhale it out. Do that again, deep breath. And release. And next inhale, bring the arms up. Touch the palms overhead. And then just bring them down to heart center. Relax the shoulders down and back. Take another breath. Then we're going to slowly come to our knees. And hands as we find our way into tabletop. So hands are directly under shoulders, knees directly under hips. So when you're ready, inhale to drop that stomach, lift that chest, look up. Exhale, arch the back, pull that pelvis in, look back towards your thighs. Do that again, inhale to drop the stomach, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, arch the back, pulling that pelvis in and looking back toward the thighs. Go ahead and come into a neutral spine. We'll bring the big toes together. Keep the knees wide and sink it down as we continue to find our way into a more yogi state of mind. So take deep breath down the spine. Exhale it out. Do that again, another deep breath. And release. And slowly find your way up again. Finding your way into your plank. Now, plank might still be on the knees for you if this is too hard. Otherwise, come up onto the toes, straight arm plank, and then push the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Pulling that pulling yourself up and back through the hips, sucking in that stomach, feeling the chest reach for the thighs. You can bend those knees a little bit, being gentle on the hamstrings, maybe pedal the feet a little if you want to. Just keep breathing. Whatever you do, just keep breathing. Nice big inhale, exhale breaths. This is our first inversion. Go ahead and take one more big inhale breath. And then as you exhale, start to walk the feet forward, finding your way into a forward fold. Another inversion. Inhale it up halfway. Whenever we come up into a half lift, we're equalizing that blood pressure, getting the blood flow out of our head. And then you can lower it back down. And then safely with an inhale, come all the way up to standing. All right. We're going to continue warming up a little bit before we progress to new poses. So go ahead and roll those shoulders down and back again, pushing those feet firmly into the earth, lifting up through the thighs. Feel that lift through the stomach. Big inhale. Exhale, push it out. Then inhale, raise the arms up. Get a nice big stretch. Exhale, fold it forward, planting those hands, stepping it into your plank pose. Lower it down, chaturanga. You push it into an upward facing dog, getting a back bend. And then exhale it back, pushing those hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Continue to breathe. Big breaths. Now we're going to hold down dog for a few more breaths. If ever the blood flow to the head gets to be too much, just come down to the knees. And come into like a tabletop pose, and then when you're ready, you can push it back up into a downward facing dog. You want to keep trying to come back to your inversion safely, of course. Every time you feel ready, every time the blood settles down, You want to try to come back to your downward facing dog or forward fold or pose we're in so that your body can slowly adjust to be inverted. And you won't have the same blood rush head problem. And again, if it's too much, always come down to the knees. Giving yourself that break before coming back up. All right, just a couple more breaths, big inhales and exhales. All right, go ahead and start to bend those knees. Look forward, walk forward into your forward fold. And then come up into that half lift, finally getting the blood down. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, raise it up. Get your stretch. Palms together, down to heart center. Press firmly into that mat. Make sure the shoulders are relaxing down and back and you're pulling up through the entire body as you inhale. Exhale, pressing down. One more time, big breath. And release. All right, inhale the arms up. Practice another inversion. Now just hanging out in a forward fold. So you just bend low. And again, if you're just joining us or you need a reminder, make sure those knees are bent a little bit. Unless you're really flexible, the point is to get your stomach connected to the thighs. You can slowly start to raise the hips up more. You'll notice a really big stretch on the hamstrings, but also up through the glutes and even the back. That's why you want to have the knees bent and stomach connected to the thighs. Check in on the neck. Again, if I'm talking too much, your blood's already there in your head, go ahead and come up that half lift. Relax. Take a breath. And then on the next exhale, you'll bring it down. And then continuing on the form of a forward fold. Again, make sure stomach is connected to thigh. Crown of the head is reaching for the ground. This is that kind of subconscious fear factor. We want to keep the head up so we're always alert and ready for whatever. But no, when we're in yoga, we're trying to relax. So bring the crown of the head down, look back at the knees. Relaxing that neck, no tension in the neck. Go ahead and inhale it up to that half lift. Exhale it down. This time we'll come up into our mountain pose. Come up slowly with an inhale breath. I'm going to stretch. Palms together, down to heart center. Let's be upright for a second. Big inhale in. And then ground it down with your exhale. One more time, big breath up. And release. All right, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold it forward, plant those hands, step it back to your plank pose. We're going to lower it down for our chaturanga, taking our body down, and then pushing up into a back bend. And then exhale it back into your down dog, hips going up and back. The lift, the energy flows up and back. Trying to take you up off the hands a little bit. Keep those fingers spread wide though, just to keep a little extra surface area going on, protecting the wrist. Keep that lift going. Neck again is loose, so if you feel like you're up at your elbows or you're looking ahead, you want to drop that neck down, look back at your thighs. Working on overcoming that subconscious fear factor. And breathing again, coming down to the knees if you need a break. You can do a break anytime you want. Just try to come back to down dog once you're ready. Keep breathing. All right, we're going to set up for warrior one on the right side. If you've been with us before, you kind of know where we're going. If not, I'll try to walk us through nice and slow. You're going to take that left foot, step it up just a half step, just a little bit. Make sure you can place that heel down on. And then you're going to take the right leg up on the opposite edge of the mat, not very far. Just about maybe midway across the mat. And then once you have that foot planted and you're ready, you're going to slowly inhale the body out. Take your time. Don't get dizzy. Raise those arms up, and then if you want to adjust your stance to be a little bit longer, you can, but make sure your hips are staying squared to the front. Inhaling arms up, you feel a back bend, stretch out. Keep breathing. And then we're going to kind of do what we did last time, but now we're going to change the pose up a little bit by bringing the back foot up just a smidge, keeping, and then this time, both feet are parallel. You're going to straighten this leg, Kind of push the booty back a little bit. Reach the arms back. If you can, clasp the hands, great. If not, just reaching back. And then you're going to lean forward. And then depending on how flexible you are, this is either an inversion or not quite yet. I'm really tight, so this is as far as I'm going. Reaching my body forward, you should feel a nice stretch right on the inside, or not the inside, but the back of the leg. Keep breathing. All right, go ahead and bring that up. Reach it up tall. You can step the feet together. Forward fold it, coming back down into this inversion. Checking in on your body. Make sure that neck is relaxed. Crown of the head. Reaching to the ground. I'm looking at my knees right now. Stomach is connected to thighs, protecting the lower back as well as giving you a different kind of stretch than a toe touch. Keep breathing. Go ahead and inhale it up halfway. Exhale it back down. Then inhale, reach it up, get your stretch. Palms together and down to heart center. Let's be upright, our head and big inhale. In your mountain, reaching the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, pressing down into the mat. One more time, big inhale up. Exhale, press it down. Then go ahead and inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold it. We're going into that plank pose again. Planting the hands down, stepping the feet back. And then lowering into a chaturanga. And then pushing up into an upward facing dog. And then back into a downward facing dog. So you get there and breathe. Check in on your posture. Where's your head looking? Feel the stretch too, pushing up and back. Gentle still on the hamstrings. If you're really flexible, you might be starting to get those heels toward the floor, maybe. But if not, that is okay. Listen to your body and breathe. All right, we're about to do the other side. So first the right leg moves. So you step that right leg up and plant the heel down. And then step the left leg up to the opposite side of the mat. A little bit halfway up the mat. Once you're set, inhale very slowly, bringing the body up. Take your time. Once you get there, reach the arms up, and then you can adjust your stance a little bit if you want to. Make sure the knee isn't tracking over your toes. Pull it back a little bit if you need to. Keep breathing. Another breath up, reach up. Exhale. All right, we're going to come in to that fold. So bring the back leg up a little bit. Feet are now parallel on the mat. Straightening both knees, reaching back, maybe grabbing the hands if you can, and then bend forward. Breathe. All right, one more big inhale breath, feeling that stretch on the back of the left leg. And then inhale it up, reach it up, get your stretch. You can step the other foot up to meet your foot, both feet together, and then exhale, fold it forward. Again, let the crown of the head reach toward that ground. Inhale it up halfway. Exhale it down. Inhale, reach up. Get your stretch, palms together and down to heart center. Take a breath in your mountain pose, reaching up at the crown of the head. Exhale, pressing down. One more time, big breath. Release. All right, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold it forward, plant the hands, step it back into your plank. Lower it down, chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing, and then exhale back, downward facing. And continue your breath. All right, now we're going to start practicing with something a little bit new. So a lot of times when people think of inversions in yoga, they think of standing on the head, right? So we're going to practice something that will help us get to where we can eventually stand on our heads. That sounds great, right? Don't worry, it's not going to be as hard as it sounds. In fact, first let's come down to your knees. So now we're just in tabletop, okay? Go ahead and give yourself a moment because you were just inverted. Take a breath. All right. Now we're going to start prepping for forearm hits. So to do that, first just kind of sink down to your forearms. Easy, right? All right, now take the crown of the head. Make sure it is the crown of the head, not the forehead, not rolling the neck back, but the crown of the head. Place it on the mat. You can adjust your arms. And if this is enough, you can just stay right here. Guess what? You're already prepping to stand on your head. You can just stop right here. If you want to take it another step, first check in on the hands. You're going to cup the hands like this, like one hand on the other, and then cradle the back of your head. So that's what I'm doing. Do not intertwine your fingers. That could cause problems later. Just cup the hands and then cup the back of the head. Make sure that elbows are pulled in enough so that you see them in your peripheral vision. And then again, if this is already enough, stay right here. No extra movement needed just now. You can just get used to this feeling. But if you're ready for a little bit more, you can start to come up into kind of like a down dog. So you're still feeling that lift up and back. Now you're feeling a lot of pressure on your shoulders, right? Make sure it's not in your neck. You want to feel a lot more muscle here in your arms to begin with. That's not where the strength to lift is going to come from, but you still have to build a little bit of strength there too. Just make sure it's not in the neck. If you feel it in the neck, come back down to the knees, take a breath, maybe try it again. Feel that lift up and back in the hips. So where the lift is going to come from is actually going to be the core. But right now, while we're upside down practicing this, we're going to feel it in our arms. If you start to feel it in your neck, your arms getting tired, come down to the knees, relax, breathe. You can just stay right here if you want to. That's still an inversion. If you want to break from it, just bring the head up and clamp the hands down. Maybe even roll back into child's pose for a second. Let's all take a break and roll back into child's pose. Give the neck a break, give the arms a break. Give being upside down a break. Just take a breath. Another inhale. All right, let's slowly come back up. We're just going to practice it one more time. We'll just do it briefly, though. We won't hold it quite so long. You just want to first make sure you get the basics right. So what are the basics? Being on the forearms, crown of the head coming to the ground, cupping the hands at the back of the head, and then cradling the head. Elbows are in the peripheral. You can stay right here, be nice and comfy, or push up onto the legs, straightening the knees. Keep that core engaged, trying to push yourself up and back off the shoulders. But the shoulders are taking all of the pressure that is remaining, not the neck. And then go ahead and let it back down. And we'll be done with that. Go ahead and roll back into child's pose. Give it a break. Stretch the arms out or wrap them around your body, whatever feels more comfortable. Take a few breaths. Maybe put the forehead on the mat to give it a little bit of different feeling. If you can, just wherever is comfortable, just breathe. One more big breath. Let it go. And start to press into the mat. And when you're ready, come forward into that plank pose. And then you push the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths. I know we're upside down again, so if it's too much, come down to the knees. Just depends on where you're at and how often you practice your yoga. Take another big breath. One more time, big inhale. This time as you exhale, walk the feet forward into your forward fold. And then come up into that half lift. Exhale it down. Inhale, raise it up. Get your stretch. Palms together, down to heart center. All right, feel that lift. Big inhale, reaching up to the crown of the head. Exhale, pressing down evenly into the feet. One more time, big breath out. And then release. All right, take another big breath in, and we're going to sink down to the mat. If you can, try to practice toe stand. You just bend the knees and sit the hips on top of the heels. If that's too much, you just go ahead and just find your way down to the mat however you want to, and take a seat. Go ahead and put the soles of the feet together. We'll take a big inhale to lengthen the back, and then exhale to straighten or to lean forward. Just breathe. All right, inhale yourself up. Bring the knees together and push the feet forward. And just make sure you're on the top of the sit bones and inhale your arms up again. Exhale, fold it forward. You can bend the knees in this forward fold too. It's actually the same pose as when we're standing, but just now it's not an inversion. Take a breath. One more time, big inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale yourself up. And we're gonna lay back down on the mat. Just if you need to, so you have room to lay down, put those arms out in front of you and use your core to lean back. If this is not feeling good on your back or for whatever reason, just find a way down, whatever works for you. And once you get there, nice big stretch. And relax into your mat. And start to bend the knees up and into chest. These are our easy inversions, right? These are still amazingly good for you. So anytime you need to, lay on the pack, take the feet up into the air. I've mentioned this one, the waterfall. If you want to go ahead and come into this feeling the energy flowing through the legs, feet are flexed. You can put this exact pose up against a wall, and there's less energy needed, and you can just relax, letting the body be inverted in an easy inversion. All right, go ahead and bend those knees into chest. We'll do a different inversion where we grab the outside edges of the feet and pull the knees back, opening up the feet toward the ceiling. And then we can rock side to side. That's optional. Happy baby. Happy baby pose is a really good one. And just breathe, relax. And let go of the feet. You can squeeze those knees in, hugging them in nice and tight. All right, then we have this one to practice. We've been doing it, I think, since we started practicing inversions, is our, mine just went blank. We're prepping for wheel, but this is not wheel. This is a different pose. My mind just went blank. Oh, is it being like, push the hips up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Breathe, bridge, there it is. It's our bridge pose. Nice and strong. This is still an inversion, even though it's a slight one. And then go ahead and let the hips drop back down to the mat. Pull those knees in, relax the back for a second. And then if you want to, you can come into just another bridge, or you can still start to tease into coming up into that wheel pose. So go ahead and plant those feet back down. And you're going to take your hands and you're going to place them so that the fingers are facing your shoulders. So plant those hands down, back behind, are right next to your ears. Fingers facing my shoulders. Feet are planted firmly, and I lift up through the hips just for starters and start to press into the mat. And I use my core to lift the chest up. And this can be as far as you go. I'm still not comfortable coming into a full wheel just yet since my back injury, but we're working on it. All right, go ahead and bring it back down from wherever you're at. Bring those knees up into the chest. Hug them in tight. And then we're going to play with one more. And I think this is a new one. I don't think I did it last week. If I did, we'll work to practice again. So go ahead, take those feet up into the air for a second, and you can just, if you want to just do this pose, that's fine. If you want to start to try to come into a shoulder stand, which is kind of almost on our head, it's on our shoulders. What you'll do is you'll bring your hands underneath your body. Arms are there for a brace. And then you'll start to pick your feet up using the core. Your hands are lifting up your body. Make sure your neck stays straight. Do not move your neck at all. Looking up at the toes, and then you start to bring the legs back. If this looks absolutely crazy, that's fine. We'll just do it for a second. If you've already come into it, go ahead and come back down and start to roll back down. That's an exciting one. Again, make sure you don't move your neck. If you try to practice it again later, you want to keep the neck straight and the gaze up towards your toes to protect yourself. It feels good once you get it. So be patient with yourself as you work up to it. All right, let's go ahead and relax a little bit. Take your arms out to a T. Knees go over to one side, getting a spinal twist. So keep those arms out and adjust if you need to. If this is too intense, you might come up off the shoulder, making the twist less intense. If you need more, take the top leg off. Wherever you're at, just breathe. And slowly bring those knees back to center. Pause for a moment. And then drop them over to the other side. Again, adjusting as you need to. It's probably different on this side, so pay attention to your body and what it needs on each side. Couple more breaths. And bring those knees back to center. Let the spine settle for a second. And bring the arms by your side as well. Kick the feet back up into the air for a waterfall. Then we're going to slowly lower down into a brief Shavasana. If this does not feel good where you're lowering the legs like this, then you just want to bend the knees back in, maybe put the legs out one at a time. But if you can, try to go down slowly, getting one less core activation. Breathe. Feel that energy in the legs. And once you get there, start to relax everything. You can turn the palms up or down, wherever you want them. And shut down the eyes for a second. Maybe take another deep breath if you need to, if you're still feeling some tension. And release it out with an exhale. Check in on the forehead, no tension up there. Jaws unclenched. The shoulders are relaxing down into the mat. Both your arms are heavy. Your legs are heavy. Your body is heavy. Check in on the mind. Choose your focus. Choose something that brings you joy, brings you peace, thankfulness. And any other thought, you can acknowledge it as it comes through, but then let it go as you realign your focus. Relax. I'll be here for just a few breaths. So just let yourself be. Go ahead and take another big inhale breath. Circle those wrists, maybe circle the heel, or ankles, I mean. Get a nice big stretch. And start to bend those knees up. And carefully roll up into a seated position. For those of you who have joined and made it this far, I really thank you for being patient with the technical difficulties. Hopefully you could hear me okay. Go and relax those shoulders down. Take another big inhale. And exhale. Inhale the arms up. Palms together and down to heart center. Again, thank you all so much for joining me today. Namaste. All right, thank you. Hope y'all have a wonderful weekend, or whenever you're watching this, wonderful day, wonderful evening, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.